So what's going on YouTube? Today I've got something that I'm pretty excited about. It's a ROCKVILLE 10-inch sub. I got it off Amazon. It was super cheap. It's around like $100. And I'm really hoping to add some bass to this Jeep. I was looking for like a marine grade subwoofer, but I just couldn't find one that I really liked the way it fit. I mean, there's like bazooka tubes that are marine grade and all that, but I really like the way this one's got a slim profile. And it's 800 watt peak, 200 RMS, and it's going to fit right under the bottom of the seat where I'm sitting right now. Should fit perfectly. So I'm going to wire that up and show you guys how to wire that up, but I'm going to go ahead and say right now I'm not an audio man. Like, that's not in my field of specialties by any means. I feel like I can wire this up just fine, but as far as like sounding good, I might have to take it to one of my buddies and get them to fine tune it and make it sound as good as it possibly can. But I'm just going to show you how I wired it up. If you think that I did something wrong or I missed a step, I mean, put that in the comments below. But this is how I'm going to do it, and hopefully it turns out great. Here's the actual sub. I've thrown away the box, got a little ahead of myself, but here's the ROCKVILLE 10-inch. You can see here are the outputs and gains and levels and plugs and all that good stuff. RCAs on the bottom, or I mean the side. Here's what comes in the box. This is a little bass knob tuner. Select how much bass you want. These are the feet. This is the cord that you run for the bass knob tuner right here. Here's the instruction manual. Probably not going to need that. And this is what I bought separate. This is an amp wiring kit. Has the fuse, the RCAs, the main hot wire, then it has a ground wire, and it should have everything I need to get this amp turned on and working. So I'm under the hood of my Jeep. This is the terminal that needs to connect to the battery. So I need to run this wire here through the grommet right there. Luckily I already have easy access to my firewall. So I've run it through the firewall, back in behind the dash, down. I've got all the cord, cable piled up right here, and I'm just going to snake it back in behind, down and around the corner, through the carpet, all the way up to right there behind the back seat. So I have the ROCKVILLE under the seat. I'm not going to mount it until towards the end of the video. I want to make sure that I've got all the wiring where I want it to be and like just the overall setup before I drill it to the floor of the Jeep. I've got the power wire coming out at the amp, so the next thing I'm going to do is run my ground wire. The ground's going to be kind of frustrating because this is a fiberglass Jeep, so I'm going to have to drill through the floor and actually bolt it to my frame. So that's going to be a little bit more challenging than the average. So let's do that, and then I'm going to run the remote wire and the RCA jacks under the carpet, down through here, along the side, and then back to my center console here where my radio's at. Under the Jeep, this is my parking brake setup here. I took this little holder out with the screw and the nut and took that out and took a little sanding wheel and sanded this down to the actual bare metal. From the hole that I drilled right by the amp, I run the ground wire down to this little setup here. So that should be grounded out pretty well to the actual metal. So right there's the amp with the power wire and the ground wire coming through the floor. Now I'm just going to run the RCA cables up under the carpet down to my center console. I'm going to run the hot wire to the center console as well. Just a little update, I've ran all the wires, the remote wire, RCAs, the adjustment right there, and the only thing really left to do is put the fuse in. I'm going to put the fuse in the power wire in the back, and then I'm going to screw the amplifier back down and make the right connections to the radio and the amplifier, but I'm not going to put that on video. It's pretty simple. I mean, the back of it just says power here, ground here, remote here. I mean, it's very simplistic, so just put the right wires where they go based on the schematic, and it should power on. But I think the next time I check back in, I'm going to have all this put back together and we're going to see if it turns on. I've got everything wired up here. All the wiring's been ran. So let's see if it actually turns on. Big reveal. See if we get a light on the remote. It's not showing anything so far. Maybe it'll take a minute. Oh, there it is. So we got
Midnight Milky Way through a cracked windshield.
Nope, can't listen to my music because, you know, that would be way too easy. And that's a copyright infringement, so let me find some non-copywritten music off of YouTube. Well, no clue what this is. My phone here says that it's the best non-copywritten music of 2018. So let's see what it sounds like. Keep in mind I do have the top off, so I think it will sound better once I put the top on. But let's see how it sounds.
But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us up.
Alright, so that song was kind of depressing. Didn't have much bass. Found a new one. This is Best Beat Drop Songs. And it says right there, non-copyright. So no lie, as of right now, I'm a little let down. I thought it would be a little louder. I mean, for the amount of money I paid for it, I'm not going to complain too much because honestly, I didn't want to put a lot in something that might get stolen anyway. There's no locks on my door, and I mean, it might get ruined by the weather as well. So this is perfect for the size-wise because it just slides right under the seat, and it gives a little bit of bass, but I've got everything turned up right now, like the bass boost, the on the radio, the actual settings on the radio for the bass are turned up pretty high. The low pass filter and the gain, like I said, I'm not a huge audio guy, so I'm not entirely sure how to set those, but I've got it sounding decent, I feel like. But I'm just going to go and play with it a little bit more, and I'm going to put the top back on. I think some of it might be because I don't have the top on, so there's not a bunch of, I don't even know if I'm using this word right, reverb or like bounce or just, I don't, it is under the seat though, so I think that's helping with the actual beat. But let me put the top on and see if I get a better feel for it. Well, the top is on, and honestly, it does sound better. It's not something that's going to rattle your neighbor's windows, but it does sound better. Here, let me play what I was playing earlier for you guys to hear. Hopefully you hear. I'm not entirely sure if you're going to be able to. You might just have to take my word on it. Well, that's the install of the ROCKVILLE 10-inch 800-watt slim profile subwoofer. Overall, my impressions are I like it. I like it a lot better now that I put the top on. Before with the top off, it just didn't sound all that great to me. I wasn't too impressed, which I'm still just not overly the top impressed, but you know, for what I paid for it, like I mentioned before, it's just it does okay. It'll probably get stolen anyway, so I'm not too concerned. But if you would like to purchase this and just want to add a little bit of bass to your car, then I'm going to leave the link below. Know that it will add bass. Like there is a noticeable difference between before and after. So I am happy with my purchase. I've been a little spoiled in the past. I've always had car audio places do my own audio stuff, and you know, I do everything else myself, so I was like, you know, I can put a subwoofer in. And a lot of the other stuff has been a whole lot more money, but it was more professional, and it was the top that rattled your neighbor's windows. So if you're looking for something like that, I would pass on this. I'd pass. I would try to find something else, build something, get a ported box, whole 9 yards. But if you're just looking to add a little bit of deep, rich tones to your Jeep, car, truck, whatever you have, and you don't have much space, then this is ideal for you. The only thing left, I'm just gonna go up there and paint over where I sanded on my frame to put that ground wire on. But I'm gonna leave this video here. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and, you know, all that good stuff, or don't. It's okay. But so anyway, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna end this video. So, you know, like I always say, when it comes to Jeeps, keep it classy.